Welcome back. In a previous videos we've looked at the different form elements we can use to collect information from the user. Now we're going to look at some things we could use to just augment the form. So the first one is this title and description. So clicking on there allows you to segment the page a little bit. So I've completed that for you. Let's create a couple more. So now I have 4 altogether. And I've gone ahead and filled those out for you so you can see part 1, part 2, part 3, 4 in each section of this survey, or each portion of this survey contains questions related to a different area. Now it's often a good idea to put in some of these breaks in here to give context to the user. And once they're created, like anything else, they're very easy to drag around. So there we go. Put that above first name and last name. Obviously this is misordered. I should drag all of these around and create a cogent form. But in this case we're just giving you an example of how to use it. Okay, so let's say that I want an image. So there's something about a question where an image is going to be required. So let's actually do that. Just make this an open-ended. So paragraph. Okay, so we're just asking kids to give their opinions about something, and that's fine. And now we're going to add an image below. I'll go to my album, see if I have anything in there. Okay, we'll choose him. Okay, so we can put an image directly on the page like that. Of course, we could have done that right here in the question, which might have made more sense in this case. And we have separate settings for that image if we put it right in a question. So we can assign it left. Maybe I want to put it in the center. Obviously right, I can change the image or I can remove it. I can even add a caption to it. Okay, let's preview that, get a look at that one. So there you go, you can see that the caption is actually centered. And you have an answer here. So this is one way to do it. And actually, I think in this case, the best way to do it. But there may be other circumstances where you just want to insert a picture that's not associated directly with a question. And that's when you would use this icon. We have the option of inserting a YouTube video. So add video. I can search for a video directly. And I can preview it here as we've done before. Also, you can always right-click on this and copy the URL here. And you can do that generally for any YouTube video. So there you go, that's the same video. So if you'd been in YouTube and you'd found this video, you can take this directly. And now instead of inserting it that way, and this is probably, I think, the more common way, would be to paste the URL of something you've previously found. And you can give it a title. Your options for this are very limited. It's simply to show a caption for it. But you could use this in association with another question. So if you wanted to show a video and solicit some responses, that would not be hard to do. It would just be a matter of putting the question above or below, etc. The last option I'd like to look at in this video is the Add Section option. When I click on it, it looks like not too much happens. But now this says section 1 of 2. If I scroll to the bottom, I have section 2 of 2. Questions can be dragged from one section to another. You can make multiple sections, so that's not a problem. Let me, as a matter of fact, drag this one, Are You a Student? I'll just take that and move it up to the top section. I'll actually make it my first question. And now this brings us back to that option we have in several of the question types of go to section based on answer. And once we do that, we can now say this one's going to send me to section 2, which I can title, except if I say no, it's going to send me to section 3. Now I don't have a section 3 yet here. Now I have a section 3, and now I have a section 4. So let me come back in here and say, if you say yes, please go on to section 2. If you say no, please go on to section 3. And if you say soon, please go on to section 4. Now at the moment I don't have anything in all those sections, but let's preview and see what happens. So the page loads. Are you a student? Yes. And it brings me to my next section. No. It brings me to this section. Will be soon. And it brings me to another section. So I hope you can see how that can be useful. Sometimes you need to track students or parents or somebody depending on the answer that they give, and although it makes the form a little more complex, it does give you that option. In future videos, we're going to look at the responses and at our main toolbar across the top.